In this video we are going to study an interesting trade that happened in the British pound versus the Japanese yen in the 1-hour timeframe. This trade involves a lot of the market maker strategy perspective, and it will also use some interesting ideas about price symmetry with a technique that I posted a while back called mirror lines. There will be some ideas about the Newtonian trading strategy as well, but only in a superficial way. You can observe quite clearly in this chart that price was in a nice flow downward since number 1 until number 6. During all those market vectors price was flowing naturally without any apparent intervention from large traders or anything like that. The idea of the trade you see in the chart came from the combination of two different observations in the chart along with the central idea behind the market maker strategy. These two different ideas are the action and reaction lines that are sloping downward and the mirror line that uses the reverse angle of those action and reaction lines to pinpoint a possible market edge. These two techniques combined gave an idea for a long trade opportunity in an area where it would be counterintuitive to take a long position. Let me explain in detail how these lines were drawn, and then I will envelop them in the context of market manipulation. When price action was around numbers 6 and 7, we could see that price came down in an organized move. Sometimes it is interesting to attempt to find the underlying symmetries of an organized market flow like that because it might give you interesting clues about market edges in the near future. In order to find the underlying symmetry of that movement down, I first connected the two most obvious outer edges of the movement, which are the highs number 1 and number 3. In a second moment, I duplicated the line with the same angle and placed it on the low number 0, which is some sort of turning point for that movement down. You can clearly see that low number 0 was the last attempt of buyers to create an upward market. These two lines form a distance in the y-axis of the chart. This distance is then duplicated to the lower portion of the line that comes out of number 0. This whole process creates the iconic action and reaction lines. We can see that these lines have some value by observing how they sort of predicted the absolute low number 6. Observe that this prediction could have been made right after high number 3. From this point onwards is where the idea of a possible trade started to arise. The reason for this is pretty clear. The action and reaction lines were telling me that low number 6 was a market edge, and in number 8 we had price poking the low number 6 in a way that market makers would. Observe that the poking of low number 6 by price in number 8 seems to be market makers inducing retail traders to go short, but notice the shape of candle number 8. It's indecisive to say the least. This gave me the impression that number 6 could indeed be the absolute low of the market, and this could be a nice turning point, although I would be clearly going against the trend. This is another aspect of market makers. They will twist the notion of trends, and sometimes you have to act in counterintuitive ways. By assuming that number 6 was an absolute low, I had to find a way to pinpoint a market edge in order to validate my trade entry with a small stop and a large take-profit target. The way I did this was by attaching a mirror line to the already proven action and reaction lines in the chart. Observe that the action and reaction lines are sloping downward, and we want to find an upsloping line to enter in a long trade. To have an upsloping line starting from a symmetrical down-sloping line, we can use the concept of mirror lines. That can be done by drawing a horizontal line in relationship to the downward sloping lines in question. That will give us a -x angle in this case. All you have to do to find the mirrored line is to invert the angle to the other side of the mirror axis line, and then you will have the +x angle. That's a mirrored image of the action and reaction lines. Following the exact same angle found by the mirror line, I duplicate the line and placed it in the absolute low number 6, which seems to be the end point of this movement. Observe carefully how price interacts with the mirrored line that comes out of number 6. Even the candle number 8, which is the supposed manipulation, seems to respect the mirrored line. From that point I opened a long position in the third test of the mirrored line in the candle right after number 8. You can also arrive at the same line with even more precision by drawing a sloped frequency line connecting the absolute low number 6 with the absolute low number 7. Candle number 8 would confirm the sloped frequency, and a long position could be entered in the next touch of the line pretty much in the same way we are using with the mirrored lines in this example. The stop-loss order was placed below the alleged manipulation low in number 8 as the market maker method indicates. The target of the trade was placed in an ambitious level because if this trade turned out to be correct, this would probably be the beginning of at least a small trend. The target was placed in the ignition point of the vector from number 3 to number 4. Let's see how the market developed. Here you can see that the target was met and that the manipulation maneuver was actually taking place in number 8. This is once again proof that the combination of professional trading strategies can give you the edge in the markets. You can be absolutely sure that only a few people can see the lines and trades like this. If you want to learn more about these ideas, check out the strategy store in the link in the video description. If you enjoyed this video, please help support the channel by clicking the like button, subscribing to the channel, and leaving your comment below. Don't forget also to check out the other free videos in the channel. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you in the next videos.